La chaîne Géopolitique. So for those of you who are in vacation, let me wish you a nice vacation where you are. But you should know that on the geopolitical side, there are absolutely no vacations right now. The geopolitical events are right now very hectic and are very unpredictable. And tonight we are just learn the diplomatic recognition between the United Arab Emirates and Israel, and I would like to analyze in this video the possible consequences from a geopolitical point of view from such recognition from the United Arab Emirates towards Israel. So firstly, we should be aware that it's the most far-reaching diplomatic decision from an Arab state to recognize Israel since 26 years, because the last time another Arab state recognized Israel was Jordan in 1994, and previously it was Egypt in 1979. But those two deals, peace deals between Israel and Jordan and Egypt, were totally predictable deals because they were negotiations, let's say even private, but at some point even public negotiations. So people was aware that those negotiations could reach in a peace deal. But tonight, suddenly, we just learned that through, let's say, a press declaration from President Trump, that a peace deal has been signed between both countries. So really, it's totally, from one side, it looks surprising, and we don't know what to think. And but from another hand, it has a very serious and let's say unpredictable consequences. So let's see what could be those consequences. So firstly, we have to be aware that, according to what said President Trump, that other Arab nations will recognize Israel. So it means we deduct from his statement that the United Arab Emirates is just the first one among others. He did not specify which ones. We could think that countries like probably Saudi Arabia or Bahrain could be the most likely next Arab countries who could recognize Israel if we really believe in what President Trump said. Actually, we could be even surprised that Saudi Arabia did not follow suit the decision from the United Arab Emirates, because you know the relationship between the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, and the Crown Prince of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nayed, are so close. Even some people talk about a union between those two countries, that we are surprised that they did not decide to take this decision together. But according to some reports, it seems that the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is afraid about such reaction, let's say hostile reaction in the Arab world against Saudi Arabia, that probably he said he preferred that United Arab Emirates takes alone this decision. And for sure, it's a very risky decision that tonight the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nayed has taken, because it could have far-reaching consequences. First, in the Arab world, we could see over the next hours demonstration, over next days or next weeks, demonstration in the what we could call Arab Street in different countries, Sudan, perhaps even in Lebanon, or in Iraq, or non-Arab countries also, like Iran, Turkey, or any other Muslim country, and also in Europe, like in France or other country, because such decision is really unpopular due to the timing of this decision. Let's remind that Israel were very close, let's say, to annex the West Bank, and this decision is really surprising that it comes at such period of time where there is absolutely no hope, let's say, of a peace deal with Palestinians. I remind that in 1994, Jordan signed this peace deal because at that time there were hope of a peace deal. The Oslo Agreement have been signed the previous year in 1983, and let's say in for those hope, the Jordan king so decided at that time to say that's a good time now to sign because there is hope for peace deal. In 1979, actually, it was a bit different situation. Even at that time, there was no hope for peace deal, and that's why, if you remember, the president al-Sadat would take really, let's say, some people could say courageously, but some people could say cowardly this decision to recognize Israel as Anwar Sadat paid a very heavy price for it. He was assassinated because this decision was extremely unpopular among Egyptians and among the Arab world, and he paid a very high price because he was once again killed by a man that probably was protected from the Egyptian military elite. So we see what consequence could have when such decisions are so popular. For example, an assassination, a political assassination like Anwar al-Sadat. It will be not probably the case for the Crown Prince of the United Arab Emirates, due to the fact that the United Arab Emirates is such controlled state, and that the ruling family has such grasp over this country that it will not probably the case. But it could have other consequences. A boycott of, for example, a United Arab Emirates product. Let's think about, for example, the airline Emirates. Emirates is a big brand, let's say, of the United Arab Emirates, and you represent the country, even though it's specifically from Dubai. It's one of the 7 Emirati, and for example, many Arab people could say, or even states could say, let's stop. Emirates, you will not land in my country. You took such decision, you will not land. So such decision could be taken by some rulers, or we could see once again demonstration against the United Arab Emirates. So that's the first consequences. I think it could be much more economic for the United Arab Emirates. The second geopolitical consequences is for Israel, because it has been also at a heavy price from a political point of view for Netanyahu to take such decision. He had to announce that he suspend indefinitely what he said, this project of annexation of the West Bank. I remind to our viewers, I would like to remind to you that on 1st of July, let's say, he used this date he said that on 1st of July, the annexation will be implemented. So one month ago, on 1st of July, every media expected such an announcement, but this announcement has never been made, because at the very last minute, on 1st of July, Mr. Netanyahu just announced that he will postpone this annexation. He didn't specify any date, but he just said it's a matter of days. It was this expression. Or right now, on 13th of August, he just announced that it is suspended. So what should be believed? Just matter of days, months, years, or completely, let's say, give up? He probably only give up this project. I would like also to remind that it was an electoral pledge from Mr. Netanyahu to annex those territories. He said that many people voted for him just for that. So how his voters will react to such announcement? We should remind that right now there is a very serious political crisis in Israel with daily and weekly demonstrations. So how the Israeli public opinion will react, especially it will be interesting to see among the right, let's say, among the electorate from Mr. Netanyahu and the settlers, how they will react that today this project will be given up. And the third consequence, another consequence, the geopolitical consequence could be should remain to seen in the United States. We are right now there. In 3 months there will be a presidential election. It will be interesting to see whether such announcement could contribute to help President Trump, let's say, to help him to be re-elected. It's absolutely not sure, but it remains to be seen what could be such impact during the electoral campaign. And the last consequence, and not the least consequence, probably the most serious one, but it's the most depressing one, but it should be underlined. The risk of war is more than likely tonight, because probably there will be also reaction from, let's say, not only from prime minister or from president who will condemn or will be happy about such decision, but some militia or groups could react to such a decision. I'm thinking to Hezbollah or Hamas in Gaza, that could probably launch some rockets tonight, or some military operations against Israel. Especially, I'm thinking about the southern Lebanon tonight, because as you know, after what happened in Beirut last week and how weak is right now Hezbollah, I think for Hezbollah it's let's say the most, it could be an amazing opportunity to launch a war based on such announcement, because he will see that it's a real, let's say, resistant, or the last, let's say, group that resist to Israel when to defend the Palestinians and the Lebanese right. So due to the tense and collapsing economic and political collapse in Lebanon, Hezbollah could use this opportunity of this recognition to launch an attack towards Israel. I remind that just 2 weeks ago we were very close to war between Israel and Hezbollah, and such announcement will not help probably to calm the situation in the Middle East and between Hezbollah and Israel. So we will follow up the possible developments that I just enumerated, I just highlighted right now, and we will discuss them over the next days on this channel. If you have any suggestion, you can leave your comments. I would be more than happy to read them.